Hi everyone, this is Dave from Geekanoids, and yes, it is here. My Apple Watch has finally been delivered after almost a week of extra waiting for the 42mm space grey version. I hope it was worth the wait, and I'm going to share the unboxing experience with you here and also give you some really close-up shots after I've actually set the Apple Watch up. So, an extra long box, as you've seen in plenty of other videos unboxing this product. Little pull tab on the front here, so let's open this up. So excited to actually get this at last. So inside, let me just put this down because it's quite... There we go, we are open. So I've got some documentation, and then we're presented with the Apple Watch inside the box like so. Very cool, nice looking box, awesome. So I'm going to have a look at this side first. So it says 42mm case, 7000 series space grey aluminium, or aluminum as Apple call it, Ion X glass retina display, composite black, and it's with the sport band. So how am I going to get inside here without a knife? And the answer is to have a knife. I'm just so excited. This isn't one of my regular unboxings purely because I just waited so long for this to actually be delivered. So we are into the packaging. Let's take this clear cellophane off. It's a really nice box actually, and you can see again, I'll just give you a close-up of that. We've got Apple Watch sort of embossed into the top of the box. So let's open this up for the first time, and we've got a little pull tab either end to take the watch box out. Very nice. Let's just pop that to one side. Now in this bottom part of the box we've got designed by Apple in California, and we have got a piece of paper that says Apple Watch. And this is like our quick sort of start guide, and we've also got some extra information. And then we have got the other half of the sport band. Now the watch comes with both this side and the other side already attached in a large size, and then this is the small medium size. I've got quite small wrists, 17.5 centimeters is my wrist size, so I'm assuming I'm going to need to put this one on. And then the rest of the box, we have got the USB power brick, and this is a new type of charger from Apple in the fact that all of the pins are actually pushed down inside the power brick. So that's really cool. So you lift this up, look at that, so one action, you just lift one pin up and all three prongs come up. These are really cool. Very, very nice redesign. USB connector on this end. And then the other bit inside the bottom of the box is the charging cable. Many people have commented on the length of this, and I think Apple have done an extra large cable purely because if you're charging a watch, more often than not, you will charge it in your bedroom at night time. And if you've got things like bedside cabinets, sort of the width of the bed to go across, then you do need an extra long cable. Now because this is the Sport Edition, we get a plastic charger. There is a metal one available as a separate purchase, and the metal one is also included in the stainless steel Apple Watch and also the Edition version as well. So an extra long cable, I would say this is about 2 meters in length. And then we go on to the actual important package. This is the actual watch itself. And will this slide out? I know there's a pull tab. I'm just seeing if it will actually slide. Just out of curiosity. No, it won't slide. So we've got another pull tab just here. And we pull this across to get the outer cellophane out. And then we have got the inner box. And you can see there, if I catch the light on it correctly. We've got the Apple logo on the top. And now we're going to see this for the first time. I am really excited. I have not been a smartwatch fan up until now, possibly. They've always sort of been lacking in functionality and just a distraction as well. So I've really got high hopes, such high hopes, that the Apple Watch delivers on sort of the feature front. So let's open this up. Wow, that is cool. I am so glad that I waited for the space grey version. So we've got some soft material in the lid of the box, and it says Apple Watch Sport inside there. It's a nice sort of suede type material. And then we've got the watch itself with another little pull tab just here, so we can use this pull tab to lift it out. Let's put the box to one side. Ah, this looks so cool. Very cool. So it says 1, 2, 3. So we've got some material we need to remove. So we've got a little piece of plastic here which we can peel off. And then we have got some more plastic to take off. And here we go. We can now see the watch. Very, very cool. Look at that. Absolutely awesome. And it has got the medium large band already on. You can see all of the sensors on the back of the watch there. All of the sensors, medium large, written on the band. And it just looks very, very nice. We've also got the digital crown, of course, and the little button on the side. And I'll give you some real close-ups at the end of this video, so stay tuned. I'll do some real nice rotating shots of this as well, so you get to see it from all angles. But it looks very nice. Let me try it on the wrist for the first time. And I am going to have to swap those bands over because I've got it on the last hole on this one. Oh, it's very comfortable though. Very comfortable indeed. I like that. That is a lot more comfortable than I anticipated it being. Let's do it like that. Very, very comfortable. And you simply put the little pin through the hole and then you feed the rest of the band through the little slot and it goes inside. So the loose band isn't on the outside, it's on the inside. Very, very comfortable indeed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through the setup procedure on the Apple Watch, and then I'll be back with you with some more coverage and some initial impressions in this very video, so don't go away. So here we go, everything is set up, and it was a really easy process pairing this to my iPhone 6. You can see here I have got a custom watch face already, which I've done in my favourite colour, which happens to be orange, and you can customise all of the elements about the watch face. If I do a force touch, which is like a hard press on the screen, I can then scroll through and actually look at all the different watch faces that are available. And I can further customise these as well. So if I tap on customise, I can actually make changes to this one. And then when I'm happy, I can just push the digital crown and it will actually select this watch face for me to use. If I do a force touch again, and I'll go back across to the one that I set up earlier, again tap customize, and I can make changes to all of these elements. For example, I've got the date in the top left hand corner here. I can scroll through and turn the date off or set it to moon phase, sunrise, sunset, weather, activity, alarm, timer, stopwatch, battery, world clock, and another world clock and another world clock. Or I can go all the way back round. We pop it back to date. And then when I'm happy with all of my settings, I push the digital crown and then push it again, and it makes that watch face the active one. Now on this watch face screen, I can pull down, go into notifications. That's quite nice. I can go up and it will show me my activity, of which there's none at the moment because this is a freshly set up watch. I can also push the sort of home button here, and this will give me access to some of my contacts, so my 5 favourite contacts. If I push the digital crown, it goes back to the watch face, and I can also push the digital crown again, and this gives me access to all of my applications, which I can scroll around. It's a really nice way of doing the interface. There's one thing I don't like though, and that is I can zoom out to get a wider view of all the applications. I can zoom in using the digital crown, but if I zoom in too far, it actually goes into the application. I don't like that because I keep finding myself zooming in too far. So I wish that we could just zoom until we get nice big icons on the screen, and then we have to tap the icon to actually go into that application. If I tap this again, then it will actually center on the center application. Tap it again and it'll go back out to the watch face. So I thought it was really important to show you the Apple Watch Sport up against a traditional timepiece. Now, the reason I wanted to do this is because this is my dilemma. I wear this particular watch on almost a daily basis. And I also thought it was a fair comparison because they're both 42mm. We've got a 42mm case on this and then a 42mm case on the Apple Watch. Am I going to be able to give up my traditional timepiece in favour of the Apple Watch? Am I going to find myself wearing both? Or am I in fact going to favour my traditional timepieces and not really like the Apple Watch? Well, of course it's too early to say at this stage, but I just wanted you to see them both on the wrist at the same time, just so you could see how they look next to each other. So I have been playing with the Apple Watch for just under an hour now, so it's far too early to make a sort of final judgment on it. But my initial impressions are that it's very comfortable. I love the sport band. The actual quality of the screen is very impressive and the user interface is very good as well. I was dubious as to whether the sort of layout of the apps would work, but it does. The actual crown, the digital crown, works very well too. And it's just a nice device. The issue I have with smartwatches, and I've mentioned this in previous videos, is I'm a watch collector. I collect traditional timepieces, and will this sort of take the place of something like this? And even at this early stage, I'd probably say, well, probably not. I'm still going to wear my traditional timepieces because that's something I'm very passionate about. Something else I've also said in previous videos is that I sort of really wish that Apple had done a fitness band or fitness tracker as opposed to a smart watch. I suppose it was a foregone conclusion that other manufacturers were doing smartwatches, so Apple at some stage were going to follow suit. But if they'd have done a fitness tracker, I could have worn the fitness tracker on this wrist and my traditional watch on my regular wrist that I wear watches on. But I can't really see myself putting the Apple Watch on this wrist and then my traditional timepiece on my left wrist. It's going to be too much. I'd look so much like a complete dork wearing two watches. So it's going to be a difficult time over the next week or so to see whether I can really find a place for this in my gadget collection, and more importantly, a place for it on my wrist. Am I going to continue wearing it? So I'll give you an update in about a week's time as to how I'm finding the Apple Watch. Stay tuned to the Geekanoids channel. Thank you for joining me for this video. Let me know what you think of my sort of opinion so far. What you think, of course, of the Apple Watch in the space grey colour, which I really do like. I love the styling of it. Please also hit like on this video. It really does help me. And I'll see you all in the next one.